It's time for a best of 3 series of top level StarCraft 2, where in game number 1 we find ourselves on the map Hard Lead. Now spawning here in the top left hand corner, playing with the blue Protoss probes, we have none other than Hero and his opponent in the opposite corner. Going for what looks like a 12-fu once again. With the red Zerg drones, we're looking at Dark's main hatchery. I say once again because a couple days ago I casted a series between Dark and Classic, another highly ranked Protoss player from Korea. And let's just say that Dark felt particularly spicy in that series. Apparently this is no different. So this was played like a couple days later, a couple days after that previous cast that I did. So apparently Dark is going through a bit of a mood right now. He did the exact same thing against Classic. Yeah. He did the exact same thing. So this is another pretend expend. Yep. Now, here's the problem. Hero is gonna Hero has played hundreds of games against Dark at this point. And Dark immediately got scouted there. So Dark tried to go for a fake third base. Hero picked up on it right away. And that means that Dark is gonna have trouble placing down his hatchery in the opponent's natural expansion. Zerglings are coming up. Are we gonna be able to get it? Nope. Lovely work right there by Hero, sending that probe in time. Apparently Dark, though, has found a second location where that hatchery is apparently not misplaced, and, well, it is time to be as obnoxious as possible once again. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big fan of this sort of playstyle. I mean, I love playing it. I hate playing against it. I also, however, do love casting it, especially at this level of StarCraft. We don't really see it from, well, the other top-level Zergs, and Dark apparently is just feeling incredibly aggressive this week, cheesing practically every single game. Cybercore here is pretty late. Now keep in mind, the Zerg can always cancel that hatchery, right? And by canceling the hatchery, suddenly you've created a massive gap right over there in that wall off. Second Zealot is coming up, but there's no way for this Zealot over here to help out against these links. So that gateway is certainly gonna go down. This is a disaster. If that Zealot falls, or if that Pylon falls, or if literally anything else falls over here, I think it's basically game over. That hatchery is just so obnoxious to deal with. It's just continued lings on the production tab. We have another hatchery here as well on the other side, so there is going to be an expansion. Zealot does end up falling. Lings try to run in, but the probe does not get that Pylon block up in time. And there it is, definitely one of the shortest games that I've casted this year. It's Dark who obtains the victory in game number 1. Not even 3 minutes into the video, and we find ourselves on Oceanborn. Dark is making a drone this time around, and even an Overlord as well. Alright, nothing all too crazy then here from the Zerg. It looks like it's gonna be a Pylon scout right now for Hero. So Hero is gonna be able to... What are we doing? Hero is going to be able to get some nice information out from the other side of the map. Oh god. Dark perfectly timing it in such a way that the Pylon probe scout is not going to be able to catch that drone. But the thing is, this is a bit of a different start here for Dark, so... Okay. He's going for what seems to be a base. Fair enough. It certainly looks like one. The thing is, if he decides to go for a hatch block, so that's something we can definitely do it, but against guys like Hero, it's just not that optimal a strategy, really. Huh. Hero once again getting confirmation here that there's still no hatchery planted down defensively. Instead, there's a randomly positioned hatch on the other side of the map. Right outside of the vision right here of Hero, so he doesn't know what he's playing against at the moment. He sees the timing of the gas as well as the spawning pool. So in the end, this kind of just looks like a 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool, and honestly, maybe it even was. Okay, he's gonna figure it out now. I think this is an excellent scout here from Hero. Lovely work. That now allows him to go for that second gateway rather than a Nexus at this point. Normally, we'd be seeing a Nexus. We'd be skipping the Zealot, but in this particular instance, I really think it's a clever move. That being said though, what exactly is the plan from here for Dark? Is he just gonna use this to try and like force the Protoss here to over-defend? Because that is definitely something that can happen. If Protoss like over-prepares against this, right, and he makes a bunch of Zealots and they don't really help him out all too much later on, there's certainly a chance that Dark will still come out ahead if he decides to cancel the hatch. Roach Warren, though, on the back of this, too. Link speed has been fired up. The hatchery did not get cancelled. We're gonna go for a set of links over here together with a queen. Okay. 8 links coming up. Once again, the natural expansion. Alright, in all sorts of trouble. Hero follows up the block with another one. But this is gonna be a very difficult game to read now for the Protoss player. Because, I mean, he doesn't see the Roach one, right? He doesn't really know exactly what he's playing against at this point. He decides to go for Adept. That's gonna be good against Zerglings, but very soon against the Roaches, he's gonna need something more. So 3 larvae, by the way, available here on the other side of the map as soon as the Roach Warren pop. He decides to go Twilight Council? Really? I would have expected a Stargate, about 10 out of 10 games, but fair enough. Twilight Council. I mean, I guess you could go into, like, Dark Templar if you want to. That's an option. Everything else is gonna take a while. Anyways, the queen does manage to get an inject off on that hatchery before she ultimately ends up going down. Looks like the adepts are gonna shade away. Zealot has fallen. 1 roach ends up falling here too. Okay. I don't think I'm in love with this particular one though for Dark. I mean, this is a really tricky defense here for a hero, especially because, well, he doesn't go for Void Rays or even an Oracle. So he's making adepts. I guess we're gonna be going, I mean, Glaive to Depths is a weird one here. I'm not sure. Nah, you could just still go for Blink or something, but that's also weird. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be Glaives. Interesting. Anyways, now the roaches over here are stuck behind the wall that they were trying to breach previously, and that's gonna cost them. Okay, nice defense right here from Hero, though. Once again, moving those adepts further forward, trying to get those units stuck in the choke and making it difficult for the Zerglings to continue the aggression. In the meantime, by the way, the natural expansion was made as well on the side of the Zerg. Probe here, has it gotten vision of it? No, it's not confirmed it. But it looks like Hero is slowly going to be able to start working on some of these units and structures out here. That's a weird one, man. Why did we go into Glaives, Hero? Maybe he was feeling so confident that he's like, you know what? I don't really need anything else. Are we going to be making a... I don't know, a robo facility? I mean, now it's essentially gonna be a 1-base Glaive to Depth all-in, which sounds dirty to say because it's such a bad opener. Like, this is one of those builds that really should not work. But you know what? This game is very weird in general. Resonating Glaives is finishing up in 10 seconds. Hero has now cancelled a shade that he could have committed to 10 times. There's a chance that this is gonna almost bait Dark into a false sense of security. Yeah, I think he's gonna commit now. I think he should. There we go. Okay, some corrosive balls do end up going down. Yeah. Ultimately, I think these adepts are just gonna be able to win, no? We're gonna go after those Ravagers. Oh, once again, nice juking and jiving, honestly, by both players. Ultimately, yeah, Dark, I guess, making the best right there of the situation. But now it's a 1-base Glaved Adept all-in. So very nice hold there from Hero, but very interesting follow-up. He decides to cancel the Shade, as he wants to just kill all of those Roaches, Ravagers, and Lynx straight up. And he is going to be getting his wishes here eventually. Dark trying to maximize the damage that he gets, but ultimately all of those units end up falling. Spinecrawler coming up defensively. Hero's still at a worker lead, I guess, but he doesn't really have that much more mining happening here. I mean, we are getting to the point where that base is going to be running out. I mean, maybe in a minute or two from now. Instead, we're going to be using that scouting probe, the one that built that pylon at home, to now also build a pylon on the other side of the map. We're going to be using that as a location to warp in from. And the Glaive to Depth follow-up, while I was questioning it, I think it actually turns out to be quite good. Still not in love with it, but it's working out much better than I anticipated. We do need to kill a few more drones, though. Well, preferably a little bit more than just 2, I guess. I don't see, there we go. I don't see how Dark is going to be able to hold this. And ultimately he can't, which means that Hero obtains the victory in game number 2. Alrighty, and that brings us to the map Golden Aura. Where once again, I think we're now like 6 for 6 games or so. Dark decides to send out a drone towards the other side of the map. Hero's not even bothering scouting this time around, so I think it's gonna be a gateway scout instead. Which is basically the same as not scouting, because you're not really gonna get any valuable information that you can really respond to. Yeah, so Dark is gonna be able to get that drone towards the other side of the map completely unscouted. This means that Hero doesn't know what he's playing against, but I think at this point he may just have... Ooh, okay, I was gonna say, you don't want to get too close there. That gateway is actually pretty far forward. That means that once again, Dark gets to do whatever he likes. Now, interestingly enough, now he does go for a hatchery first at home. I am scratching my head by some of these decisions. There's no way he's sending this drone over here only to just hang out. Yep, so we're doing another hatchery rush. Apparently the hatchery is the best offensive structure. Who would have known? Now this is, a little bit more of a... Really? We're gonna pull that many? I think if we pull that many probes, we're never gonna make a zealot. No. So normally you go 3 probes and then a zealot. But instead right now we're going 7 probes, which means we can skip the zealot. Interesting decision. Ultimately though, this hatchery will fall before it will finish, and as long as he can block it and prevent it from coming up once again, or even building like an evolution chamber, it's gonna be okay. There we go, Nexus falls. Gas? I've seen enough Bly games to see how this goes. Oh my god, yeah. Absolute classic. This is one of those builds we rarely see at the pro level because it really doesn't work, but I think this now ultimately turns out to be pretty good here for the Zerg player. Stealing the gas is actually super annoying. Okay, Hero recognizes it. He decides to go for a gas already on the low ground before the Nexus is even remotely done. So are we gonna long distance mine it now? This is an awkward one. The problem is, right, you wanna go for like an Adept or two, maybe a Stalker, but not really units that are dedicated to, well, killing stuff. So... apparently, at least not when it comes to an extractor in the main base, you know, that's not really their task. So ultimately, apparently, we have 1 probe working away at that gas geyser to try and eventually allow Hero to take it. He loses the Adept! Oh god, that's a disaster. That's actually so bad. Okay, the fact that Hero just lost that really shows you the mindset that he currently is in. Because that is never supposed to happen. You cannot lose against slow Zerglings without any queens. One of your Adepts like that. Super painful. Now it means that he won't be able to really get any follow-up damage in. I mean, usually those Adepts will at least snipe a drone, maybe a couple Zerglings, and then help protect the third base. Maybe they can go back in later as well if Protoss decides to go for a Stargate together with the Oracle. But that is not a great start. Okay, Hero instead is making additional gateways at home. That's 2 more gates at home. And a Proxy pylon on the other side of the map too. So he is ready to start fighting fire with fire. What a game. What a series. Maybe Dark has been studying some of those Bly replays from back in the day, you know? I mean, I know that Bly has been playing a bunch again as of late. Just saying, it's quite the coincidence that apparently Dark is once again building hatcheries all over the map. Okay, that's a good snipe. Whoa, that water is very solid. Look at that. Incredible. Not something we normally see. Anyways, look at the minimap. Vision here for the Zerg everywhere. Yep, and he finds it. He's looking around the map. He figured out that something was a bit suspicious. It's once again gonna be glaives, interestingly enough. Loads of Adepts are already moving across the map, but that upgrade isn't even remotely done. Okay. Well, this Adept is also gonna die. She shades on the location that she was already on. Ultimately though, at least the gateway and the pylon live for now. Dark really not in a position here to make anything else, so he's going for a Rotorwarn right here, but for the time being, it's just gonna be Zerglings. And obviously Adepts are really good against light units. These Lings over here though, this relatively small group is really distracting him hard. Dark Shrine on the back of this too. And it looks like Hero may just be going for what also seems to be a third Nexus, so he's committed to the aggression while at the same time giving up on it, which makes me think it's not really going to work out all too well. But there's certainly still a chance. I mean, at this point, he's still 43 workers over 35 for the Zerg. He's still going up against a Zerg who just has links, albeit tons of them. We're at 50 Zerglings at this stage in the game. Even more of them are coming out. Yeah, this base is going to be in a world of trouble. But maybe, if Dark decides to commit to this, Nexus snipe on the other side of the map, maybe the Adept can get something done. I mean, he's wandering around here a little bit too much to my liking. Ultimately, everything over here is likely... Well, actually, no, it's going to be okay. Glaive Adepts are really good for the defense, too. Spinecrawler's going to finish up. Look at the amount of links. Oh, he was thinking about it. Roaches here are coming out, and links are indeed... Okay, this is what I expected. They are going to be able to get the snipe on that base, forcing the Protoss player here to cancel it. What a crazy set of games we're witnessing here. Because now, Hero has been warping in Adept after Adept after Adept. He's got 16 of them. Here's the Dark Templar, by the way, coming up. Spore Crawler, instantly being built. We already have a Spore over here. Okay, this will finally get shut down as well. Adepts fall off so hard as the game progresses. Now, the Dark Templar just ran by the detection. There is no detection currently in the main base. New Spore Crawler is coming up in the natural, and he's running the old one towards the high ground. Okay, there is enough energy for Transfuse. Nice crisis management right there from Dark. Keeps it alive, but look at the worker count right now. So we have all of those Adepts. I guess we'll just mix them into the main army here at some point, and they'll just sort of die or maybe assist in the attack. And then at the same time, he's been building up his eco with that third Nexus. So heavily oversaturated right now for 2 bases, but the third Nexus is late, but it is going to finish up eventually. And ultimately, Hero does find himself with a very solid economy. It's just a bit of a weird army right now, and he's going up against a Zerg player who also has, well, way more links than you ordinarily would have. Keep in mind, these are not like +1 melee links or whatever. They're not, you know, even remotely upgraded other than the link speed, so they really do not do a lot of damage against a Protoss army, unless they do get at least a +1 upgrade. But anyways, Hero is going to be leading in that department for quite a while. Baneling Nest is coming up too. Lair is going to finish up momentarily. I guess we'll just be getting, I don't know, maybe the Bane speed and the Roach speed, but I think that's primarily just to get Overseers going, so Dark can actually get some value out of it. Ooh, please don't all army hotkey Hero. I know you're a fan, but please leave that base alone. +1 melee coming up. Already, Robotics Bay building on the other side as well in the main base here of Hero. So going into a Colossus or 2 would not be a bad situation. Blink is going to finish up momentarily, but I don't really know if this is a situation where Hero can really go for aggression, you know? I mean, he can try. But against this many links, marching around the map with a group of Stalkers is very dangerous. I actually think, yeah, just parking your Stalkers at the 4th base is a much safer choice. And just try and continue building up that economy. The only problem is now that Dark has a lot of time to just rebuild whatever he wants to. You never really know with that, man. So, Infestation Pit coming up. +1/+1. Baneling speed. We're skipping Roach speed for now. Unless we already got it, but I doubt it. No, we did not. Okay. So now what, huh? Hive. Considering the early game, this is a 9-minute Hive. It's still ridiculously quick, all things considered. There's a macro hatch coming up. We have another hatchery here as well over at the 9 o'clock position on the map. These Adepts just trying to get whatever value they can. Hero is ultimately going to go for an attack right now, it seems, which is also a bit of an interesting one. I think this is mostly just some pressure to maybe try and get a snipe on his base. Because the problem is he doesn't have the Colossus yet, right? So he's going double Robo Colossus. I don't think you really want to be attacking, especially if you don't have the extended thermal lens yet. But I don't think you really want to be attacking with a Stalker Zealot army when you're just about, or I guess a Stalker Adept army instead. I don't think you want to do that if you are making that transition, so he's not. March of the Overlords in the top right-hand corner. Maybe we're going to go for some Baneling drops or something like that. Maybe Zergling drops in the main base. Adepts here in the Prism trying to get some value in. And you will see indeed that there are Banelings already out. And that they do have their roly-poly upgrade. Adrenal Glands together with an Ultralisk Cavern. So, Proxy Hedge into Ultra Rush. Naturally. Yeah, of course. Why not? Very solid defense, though, here. All things considered by Hero. Really making the best of this very weird scenario. Dark is a man who thrives in chaos. And if you can catch these Overlords, that would be massive. I don't know if he noticed the Dropper Lords there. No, I don't think he did. He just assumes that that is a small group of Zerglings hanging out in that area of the map. Okay, so these OVs are still going to be able to come in. Road Speed just finished up. Adrenal Glands is not going to finish until about a minute or so from now. It's a pretty slow upgrade. Hero now sees the opponent's Ultralisk Cavern, and he also sees a Spire coming up. Links are going to be dropped inside of the main base. Dark Templar are on the production tab, so they are going to be running around the map here momentarily again, I assume. Templar Archives in the main base of Hero too, so he can start building on whatever he can, but this is so much tech over here. Hero Colossus ready to roast some Links. Extended Thermal Lens does finish, so suddenly the range has been increased on those units. Big Zergling counter-attack towards the 5th Nexus on the right side of the map. Looks like the Templar Archives is going to stay alive. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, 7 HP. Nexus over here did get cancelled. Ultras, though, are hitting the production tab. And they're going to be available very soon. What a game. So he's actually trying to just kill that Templar Archives. Now it's got 2 HP. But it will regenerate some shields momentarily. And I don't think that's really going to be enough. It's going to be very difficult to break these bases that Hero currently has. That expansion over on the right side? Sure. But the 4th? Not so much. Another Zergling drop in the main base. Will it finally be able to kill the Templar Archives? I mean, I think that is basically a given. There we go. Maybe the Robo Bay is going to be falling here as well, which will kind of suck. Adrenal Gland's really powerful. Stalkers decide to go deep onto the creep. Chitinous plating at this point is done, so those Ultras will be able to pack a punch, but is there enough Zerg? So this has been a lead-up of 13 minutes until this particular fight over here, and it's one of the strangest ones that I've seen in quite a while. Roach is coming in from the bottom here as well, but I've got a feeling Hero is just overwhelming this army. In the meantime, though, a lot of infrastructure is lost at home. Robo Bay, we had the Templar Archives, of course, couple gateways going down. So that's gonna take a while to rebuild. Hero now basically just able to warp in with 8 gateways that he's currently got. He kills the base, he kills most of the Zerg army. But there's still 77 drones available right now for Dark. Huh. Ultras get absolutely torn up by Immortals, but this is also a bit of a tricky one right here for Hero, right? Because you know your opponent has shown a lot of Zerglings already, and Immortals are like the last unit you want to be making against Zerglings. But they're really good against, well, the Ultralisk. You've just killed your opponent's Ultras? Is it safe to assume you will need more Immortals? Or is he only going to reinforce with more Links? Apparently in this particular case, the Immortal gamble here will work out, but not quite something that we normally see. Couple Archons over here in some trouble, but nice pickup right there by our Protoss player. God, okay. Colossus being microed back. Immortals here on the right side of this fight when they really should be working on those Ultras. But ultimately, Hero has the bigger army, he's got the better units, and it's gonna be our Protoss player who obtains the victory today, 2-1.